Hello, this is J.N.S with Nakhti University, and we are doing a impromptu set song real quick about the recent, these voting rights and whatnot. I want to give some contextualization around for those trying to understand some of the grassroots approach to the laissez-faire approach we have around voting. Because there's a lot of gatekeepers trying to shame, and particularly the Black community, into not buying into the system, losing faith in this system, rightfully so, due to the benign neglect policies and a host of other racist policies. But beyond that, it's systemic. Some of the things that you see happening, it's beyond even color lines now, as far as in 2026, and people's disillusionment with this system, two-party system, capitalist system, ism system, sexist system, racist system, okay? The same system, non-innovative system, copycat system, sadistic system, narcissistic system, satanic system, however the fuck you want to look at it. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to, millennials and Gen Zs and Generation Alpha's approach to voting, what needs to be understood is that you look at the position that we are in as Americans, the affordable housing crisis, the depression that they're trying to cover up, the job economy that they're trying to cover up, the systemic breakdown of middle class and working class by our very own institutions, and not to tell you the corruption in the government, the paid off politicians, and the black male enterprise that led to trafficking rings with secret society infiltration, and the politicians in government, not all of them, but some of them even being allegedly on the Epstein list. So it's a lot going on, okay? You have to contextualize that when you come into a regular American person that is seeing all these things, getting information from various sources, seeing the breakdown, feeling the breakdown. You're not going to try to shame this group of people. Oh, you didn't vote. Oh, look what this happened. You didn't vote. Da 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 da. How about they're not voting because they don't believe in that system? Have you guys ever thought about that? It's like I hear people, and this even go for Black people, talking all this revolutionary rah rah rah, and then at the end want to pivot us back to voting. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Niggas is not about, you cannot vote yourself out of this situation, whether you Black, whether you white, whether you Latina, Asian, Indian, it don't matter. You're not going to vote yourself out of this predicament that this system finds itself in, the shuttering of the illusion, and honestly, the disenfranchisement of people historically. We're not going to vote ourselves out of that. Let me just ask you this question, because I want, especially you gatekeeping ass weirdos that's trying to shame Black people for not buying into this satanic system. They don't want to vote. Vote means to bow. They know it's a shadow government. They know that these people are puppets. They know that these people are selected, not elected. They know that y'all rig shit. They know that the best and brightest is not the ones actually getting a foot in the door. Niggas already know this. So we can stop the bullshit. Please. Like, y'all must think we got boulders sticking out our neck. Y'all must think that we so dumb. You're not going to shame no Black community because they decide they are tired of a rigged system. They not getting nothing out of that vote. Let me tell you this. It's been what? 70 years, 60 years, whatever, 80 years, however you want to look at it. And that's just since what? Jim Crow and but let's go back, we can go back to Reconstruction period, okay? Look at the condition of the Negro today in terms of their housing, education, and medical quality of life index. What has voting actually got them? What tangibles? What land ownership? What percentage of land ownership do we own? Is it less than today than it was in the 60s? Yes. What's percentage of us getting married? Is it less today than it was in the 1920s? Yes. What's the percentage of the median income per week? Is it less in 2026 than it was in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s? Yes. We talking about like empirically, anecdotally, but also empirically. Whether you run the stats, but also just from us observing the way our grandparents lived, great grandparents lived, great auntie lived. We saw how they was able to get a home for $20,000 back in the day. When they tell us, yeah, my home was $20,000. I only paid $35,000. It's paid off. And they in their 80s and 70s. And we like, wow, that's, we try to go and get a motherfucking house. Let's be real. It's $500,000 for 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, ranch style. I just literally saw a video like literally less than 5 minutes ago of the lady screaming, complaining about a $500,000 house. It was only a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, old as hell. And back in the day, it was only about $60,000, $20,000. Like literally, somebody also commented, said the house was only $20,000, but now today they want to charge $300,000. It ain't worth no $300,000. It's old as hell. It's falling apart, depilated, dilapidated. Everyone, the word is spelled, is pronounced. I'm worked up. They got me hot because I see this little play that the Democrats think they gonna play. And look, we Nakhti order in this bitch. We social libertarianism. We the Nakhti queen mothership. We don't care about neither of that two-party system, Republicans nor Democrats. Y'all both can get it. It's up for both of y'all because y'all both been tricking us. We try to give Republicans a chance. They try to do a bait and switch on us and had this little weird little thing that they tried to pull with Project 2025 and try to act like the president wasn't in on it. Then if come to find out he was taking $250 million from this white supremacist, 300 and something million from that white supremacist. The foreign invasions in our country, Republicans. Now the Democrats, they want to come and squeeze through the door. You ain't got no liable candidates that we feel comfortable with either. That's going to fix this system and re-innovate this system. Who? Where? How? You got lame ducks. You're not speaking on nothing, no game. You're not giving no real, no light. So what the hell? What you expect? What you gonna try to scold any American for not voting for that two-party system? They ain't gonna say, oh, y'all delusional because y'all don't want to vote for, y'all want to do third parties. No, we're not delusional. We're revolutionaries. We're innovators. We're God-fearing people. And we believe in a new system. Okay? That's what we believe in. So if we're not voting, did you ever think maybe they want a new system? Maybe they just don't buy what you're talking about. Maybe they just don't give a fuck about what the hell you're trying to push down our throat. We don't care about no. Let me tell you this. I'm going to keep it real. Y'all want to know why black people vote Democrat? Black people vote Democrat because we do believe in safety nets for the vulnerable, emergency purposes, as well as children and the elderly. We do believe that a certain portion of funds that are raised by the people should go to education, should go to health care, and should go for elderly and children. Okay? That's really the only reason why a lot of black people vote Democrat. Black people do not vote Democrat for immigration. Black people do not vote Democrat for child surgeries for gender, transgender for children. Okay. Now we don't care about nobody's lifestyle. A lot of black people don't care about nobody being LGBT. Let's keep it real. Black people ain't thinking about all that. But when you try to make that the forefront of your party, then that's not even like, now there's clashes, there's cultural clashes, there's misunderstandings, there's not seeing eye to eye on something. Because I'm going to tell you this, black people believing in social safety nets did not take away from the fact that a lot of them are culturally conservative on some level. Now, I'll give you an example. When we say culturally conservative, we're talking about when it comes really mainly to children, really. And keeping your private life, like some of the things you do, keeping that more private, So I'll give you an example. Let's say you ask any Black Democrat. Let's give you your, let's really go there, because I want to drive my point home. Go to a black LGBT person, right? Any black LGBT person in a black America, that's a black American, 100% black American, and ask them publicly. Now, don't pay them. I'm saying just a regular person, black person on the street that you know is LGBT, not somebody that's a puppet, not no slave for the shield parties, none of that. Go and ask a random ass LGBT right now that's black American, hey, do you believe that children should be able to get surgery to change their gender? And watch them say no. Now, that's black American LGBT. Watch them say no. No, I don't believe in that. That's too young. How would they know? Their brain's not developed fully. They should probably go through some sort of therapy first. And we're not saying, demonize them or judge them, but it's like, that's too young. You don't mutilate their body at a young age like that when their brain's not fully developed into 25 years old. Now, you go to ask the LGBT person this. That's black American. That's what they'll tell you. That when we talk about the nuance in conservatism, the nuance in, the cultural levels that black Americans have, the nuances in between the left agenda and then just American agenda. This is the nuance that you have to understand. I gave you an example of a black American LGBT. And I know it because if you want to say, a bisexual person is technically, whatever. But I'm telling you personally, as a bisexual person, that you ask a black American that, they're going to say no. They don't believe in that. Now you go ask them, do you think that you should also ask them this. You think that a man should be able to play a woman's sports, knowing their muscle mass, 95% of men's muscle mass is more than a woman's, just inherently. That's just nature. You're not getting around that. You can feel however you want to feel sociologically and psychologically. We're talking about the nature, the physical anatomy. Men have 95% more muscle mass than women in their arms. Unless the woman is a bodybuilder and she took steroids and then she make a beat a nigga ass. I'm not saying some of these women can't be, if they know martial arts or something, but I'm just saying when it comes to sports, contact sports, certain sports, boxing, all these things, like how we saw, they wanted the male boxing the female and he beats her ass and then he wants to feel like he won the championship in the Olympics and all these things. Okay. You ask any black American, do you talk about Democrat? Go ask a black Democrat. Go in them black churches. Go ask a LGBT black. Go ask a stripper. We talking about, you want to go as the liberal is the most liberal, right? I'm giving you the example. Go to the most liberal in the black community, a stripper, and ask them, do you think males should play sports with women? They're going to say no. No, I don't think that. That don't sound right. Instantly, they're going to say that don't sound right. That's a man, that's a woman. Now, you could think however you want to think. That's your personal life, that's your personal business. But building up policies and acting like we got to all be mind controlled to follow that bullshit, no. The black community will say no. And that's just two examples of what we're saying why there's this disillusionment. And that go for the Republican Party, too. Don't get me wrong. We can get busy with them, too. I'm sick of their ass, too. Totally sick of their ass. You look at Project 2025, they put some bullshit up in there. Then they had these shield ass niggas come and tell us that, they ain't got nothing to do with Trump and that ain't real. That's just a fear mongering. You ain't got to read that. And so niggas they're going off the strength of their word, not realizing that they was playing everybody. And so my thing is, the Democrats, y'all, all this finger wagging and shaming and this narcissistic shit supply that y'all seeking from the black community is really ridiculous because y'all haven't done anything with the 60 years that y'all had in our favor. Y'all still talking about civil rights from the 1960s. And then, y'all want to go ping pong people back and forth when both of these parties, to be honest, your time is up. I don't care what nobody say. These Americans can be tricked, into the narcissistic supply y'all seeking from them, the loose y'all seek from them. And ain't nothing changing, it's getting worse and worse. You can't fix this by voting. You're going to only fix it by revolution, to be honest, and coming up with a whole new system that's more intelligent, that's brighter, that got some actual light circling the same. Y'all recycling the same motherfuckers we seen since we 5 years old, 6 years old. Same politicians we talking about since our parents was young, since our parents was 10 years old and shit. It's ridiculous. Y'all look ridiculous. And ain't no millennials and ain't no Gen Zs and no Gens and Alphas gonna fall for y'all bullshit. We the ones that suffer behind this stuff. Can't afford this, can't afford that. Now, do we have some spending habits? Do we have some of the consumer issues? Sure. I can say that we have to take accountability with some of our behavior. We know we were supposed to pay that internet bill, but we went and got DoorDash. We know we were supposed to pay that electric bill, but we went and bought some shit off of Amazon instead. That's something millennials is bad with. I've been around millennials my whole life. I'm a millennial, and I see how we do. But the reason why you see those reactions is because we get in price gouged anyways. 10 years ago, even in Buffalo, the electric bill per month was $34. That's with all the TVs on, lights on. We had digital cable in every fucking room, internet, laptops on all night, TVs on, lights, a light on in every room. And we talking about 3-4 people in the house and a kid at that running around want to play the video game all day. And electric was $34 a month. Now that wasn't about 10 years ago. That's about 15 years ago. That's 2011. Yep, I remember that because I was shocked because me and the person I was living with, we was like, we gonna split it in half. And since we were kind of scared because we was running the washing machine, we was doing the most. We was kind of scared to open up that first bill. We was like, okay, we're gonna split it in half. We don't know how much it's gonna cost, so we gotta, let's see. We opened up that bill and we said $34. That's only $16, $17 a piece. We was happy than a motherfucker. We said, whoa, we can pay this. We can afford what? And we thought we was mindful, even though we still had stuff running, we was really scared. We said 34. Now we fast forward today. 0 lights is on. 0 lights. I have solar panel lights in some places. No lights be on except for about 8 hours a day in the night. And it's just one light on, one laptop, two laptops, one a couple laptops plugged, and that's it. And a refrigerator. That's it. And that's costing at a minimum about $125 a month. Not at a minimum. The mid is $125. That's mid. In the summer or when it's heat, we looking at $180. And when it was January, just to run that heater, we looking at it's $200. Okay, just to keep warm, and that's in the South. And so you're not gonna say, and we was running that. It's cold in Buffalo, New York. 15 years ago, we was running that heat every motherfucking day, 80 degrees. And make sure that shit on 80 degrees. And it's still only $40, $50. These people are greedy. And they satanic. And so you're not going to try to convince us. We seen the changes. I'm 34 years old. If we seen the changes just in 15 years, I would never forget that light bill saying $34. We was happy as hell. I said, wow, 34, wow. People complaining about car notes, HOA fees, insurance, all types of stuff people complain about. So we know what's going on. I would tell people to simplify your life. If you go on my Blue Sky account, you see some of the tips that I give around how to make your own toothpaste, how to do your own cleaner. Like if you do make your own toothpaste, use a 1-to-1 ratio if you're using baking soda or coconut oil. Honestly, you could just use baking soda. Don't let nobody research, because baking soda is only 79 cents. For a 16-ounce box. That box is going to last you, years for toothpaste. 79 cents for your toothpaste. That's boom. But say you want to get fancy, you like essential oils like peppermint, tea tree oils and your shit, coconut oil, charcoal. You do a 1-to-1 ratio for your coconut and your baking soda. You spit it in the trash because you don't want that stuff clogging your pipes. You can add a little charcoal in it, your essential oil droplets, and then you might want to add stevia too. And you might use both. Maybe one day you want to just do the baking soda, then you want to have, your little fancy toothpaste or whatever. The baking soda, if you notice, your breath will smell better too. So just use baking soda, 79 cents. Okay, because the toothpaste, for those of us that get that fancy stuff, don't like all them chemicals, we don't like sodium lauryl sulfate, we don't like fluoride. We be talking $8, $7 a tube now, guys, for these brands, these natural so-called brands. Okay. What else we got? We was telling you guys how to make your own disinfectant. You can use essential oils, obviously, lemon juice. And you can also use that as an air freshener too. Your air freshener, you can be used as your disinfectant. So you'll use one teaspoon of glycerin, 1 teaspoon of witch hazel or rubbing alcohol, or if you want, you could do 1 teaspoon of witch hazel and 1 teaspoon of rubbing alcohol too. If you want to do if you want to get it stronger, it's an emulsifier, right? And then you do 30 to 40. Essential oil drops. If you want something real strong, you might want to go at 60 to 70. You can get a little crazy with it. And you do different essential peppermint, lavender, tea tree. Try to get it where you can get your disinfectant, your air freshener, and your pest control in once if you do this right. Cinnamon, clove, lavender, tea tree, peppermint, cedarwood. Maybe you get a little fancy, you add a little rose to it, geranium, vanilla. Essential oils. 10 drops each of these things, and you shake it up, and now you got your air freshener. It's strong too. It's stronger than the stuff I've been buying. I would say I'm buying fucking air freshener 3 times a month, and I said, fuck this. Gotta be a better way. And so you get a 4-ounce bottle, however ounce bottle you need, and adjust your measurements. But you can spray that as your disinfectant. You can spray that as your air freshener, and you can use that as your pest control too, believe it or not, because them bugs, they don't like peppermints and tea trees and lavenders, spray that around, and it works. I'm telling you, it's stronger than, I don't want to get, we could call out these brands than this stuff that's charging you $5 per air freshener at the commercial stores, The next one, you're making your own cleaner, your sodium bicarbonate. That's, it's a non-chlorinated bleach. It's a powder that you can use. You can get you a tub of that, and you can mix that and make your own formulas for cleaning out your tubs, your sinks, your toilet, whatever else you need. You can get a big gallon of cast-iron soap, mix it with water in a separate spray bottle or a separate bottle, however you need. Your water, a little bit of cast-iron soap, essential oils too. Maybe you do vinegar or lemon juice. I don't like the smell of vinegar. It stank. So maybe you do lemon juice, or maybe you just leave it at, honestly, you could just leave it at cast-iron, essential oils, and water. And you can spray, you can wipe down your counters, clean your floor with it, clean the toilet with it. You need something that gets rid of, that whitens up the stuff. You want to use sodium percarbonate. If you need, you can use that for your laundry and for your cleaning. And it's powder based, and so you can dilute it as needed. Okay, and it's not chlorine based. Okay, so you want to do that for your cleaning. For your pads, for women with menstrual cycle, I've got these cups and stuff, but I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a little nervous about the cups, but I have cups. But there's reusable pads, or you could do reusable cloths. You can buy a bunch of black cloths, or you can do reusable black pads too. That's made with like this absorbent cotton that's washable, and you use that every month. Ditch all these pads, buying all this stuff every month. You paying $10, $20, $15 for tampons, pads, and all this stuff. No, you just use the wipes or the cup, the silicone medical grade cup. My thing is medical grade cup. My thing is, I think they could do better with the design around them cups. They could add sturdy tampon, either type of string or a loop to pull that cup out, and it can also design a better applicator to put it in for those who are nervous about sticking their fingers if you got long nails, or it's messy. The applicator need to be designed better, so women get on that, and make sure that loop is there to pull it out easy pull out, easy insertion, silicone medical grade, can disinfect it, can last a long time and whatnot. And so that would be one option. And then also you can use the rags. If you off grid and in the woods somewhere, you can use moss. Okay, if you really want to go into nature. But them black cloths, them real thin ones that you can fold up and just stick up there and wear around. And I'm telling you, and you got to wash it out. You do have to after you get done. But you'll be surprised how much you could sit with, especially if you have, say you have a tampon or you have a cup in and you just want that double protection, that leak. You'll be surprised. Now, you do have to wash it out when you're done at the end of the day, probably, and just hang it up, or you could throw it in the laundry or whatever. Here's the thing. You do want to wash that out. You don't want to just throw that in the laundry basket all soiled like that. Because that can attract pests, for one. Certain bugs do like that smell of blood, and they'll smell it. And that can, you just don't want that. You wash it out immediately with the hot water right in the sink, and you can toss it in the laundry or let it dry first. Let's have it somewhere safe to dry. And you could just use your hand soap or whatever soap you got laying around to just hurry up and just get all that blood out, squeeze it, throw it, hang it up, and then put it in the laundry for once it's dry. And that is a more effective system to me than, all this tissue. A lot of times we use it, tissue for safeguards if you have the cups, or you have the tampons and all this stuff. So that's another thing. Okay. What's another one? You could, for your urine, you can use rags. Just to save on toilet tissue, use rags. Cloth. You can buy a bunch of cloths and recycle. Like, I remember, so I've been doing this for a decade, damn near. I remember I had like 50 white washcloths in the, in a dryer. I remember my roommate at the time was looking, why do you have all these washcloths? You probably thinking I'm using a washcloth per day, changing a washcloth, but it's because that's for, number one. Now, for urine, when I say number one, I'm talking about urine. I think we should all know that. Number one means urine. And so what you do with that is you get a bunch of rags or whatever, a bunch of cloths that are absorbent, and then your urine, you can use that. Now, I'm not saying don't get tissue, because, for those that, I still use tissue for number two. But for urine, you could definitely use that, and you could, believe it or not, you could use that several times before it gets, like, really soiled. And you can throw it in a, because urine is a natural disinfectant, believe it or not. So it won't smell just immediately. So you could throw that in the laundry, throw it in and just wash it out. And so that's a way for you to save money on toilet tissue, especially for those of us that's heavy-handed with toilet tissue. They like to use a lot and whatnot to get dry and all these things. But now for number two is what we need to deal with, because tissue still costs money. So what I would like for Negroes to do, I would like for you guys to start to plant. It's called lamb's ear plant in your backyard. Lamb's ear plant, mullein plant, and there's another one called toilet paper plant. I want you to get all three of these plants from a starter seed, however you can get it. But really, that lamb's ear, they say that's like sitting on a cloud. They say that's like cotton. They say that's like plush. That's like velvet on your ass. So I think y'all should get the lamb's ear plant and grow it in your backyard. Maybe, I don't know about indoors. If you got the setup right, you could probably do it indoors too. They say for toilet paper, they say, and the mullein, they say you can grow that indoors too, guys. But I think the baby's ear, I said the baby's ears, the lamb's ears, lamb's ears plant. I think that might have to be outside. I'm not sure, but you can grow it from zones 4 to 9. So come on, and they say that's always been a natural based toilet tissue. And so I think that we should use that for number 2, but then also immediately toss it in the trash. Don't have that, because people use the rags for number 2, but they say you got to wash it every 2 to 3 days. You could either put it in vinegar and have it sit in a bucket with disinfectant. That's too messy to me. That's germs. I don't believe in all of that. Like, it's fecal matter, and you don't have fecal matter in your house like that, where you got kids, or if you got a kitchen and all these things, and the tracking and everything, you know, the rags, and then you got to put that in a washer machine and cross-contamination. No. I know that's what they do. We don't move. Good and hell well, Negroes ain't dirty like that. We believe in cleanliness. Okay? So I don't recommend you guys doing that. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But all I'm saying is, if you get that lamb's ear plant, and say, you got it real big, the real big one, and you can get some of those leaves. You can store them in a refrigerator, or you can store them, believe it or not, in the bathroom. But you can only do it for you'll still have to pick it out probably every 2 to 4 days. Your tissue for number 2, every 2 to 4 days from that plant. Before the leaves get kind of old, you can start to feel them, get a little harder, less absorbent. So that's the only thing. But you could probably even use them. I mean, some people like firm toilet tissue. That's if you want it real soft and plush. But some people like firm toilet, the strong feel. So they may not mind 5 or 7 days. You pick it out every 5 or 7 days. You know what I'm saying? But you probably would have to pick it out from the plant 2 to 4 days. You could probably store it if you're in the refrigerator if you want it real soft, or just keep it in the bathroom. And then you use that for number 2. You use your rags for number 1 and your plant for number 2, and you immediately throw that in the garbage. If you have incinerator, you may use this incinerator, right? But if you don't have an incinerator, you throw that immediately in the garbage outside. Even if you have a bin, if you could, say there's a window near the bathroom, and you could hook up a nice little cool contraption bin or something that you can just boom toss right up, wrap it up nicely in a odor bag. They have the odor bags that you can get, or if you're trying to be more health conscious, maybe you don't want to buy those odor bags. Maybe the bag itself that you putting it in, or the contraption that you're putting it in, is odor based, or it's made of some sort of mesh that traps in odor. Or maybe you have, you line it with baking soda, something that you do to kind of, and you just put it right outside. You could hook that up real nicely, like a little chute that could just throw, you can make up a little chute, or you can manually go out and put it in the garbage bag, like how you put a diaper or something, like but you don't want, all I'm saying is discard of it properly is the point, in a hygienic sense, is the main point you need to take from that. So, that's a couple of things. And if maybe you guys get clever and can invent a toilet tissue with the lamb's ears that can be dry. But I think that, again, we're trying to save money here. So if you just grow the shit yourself, then what? You ain't got to buy it. And then you use your rags that you could recycle over and over again for urine, then what? I'm telling you, I have some cloth literally from 2-3 years ago still. Literally 3 years ago that I have bought, so these things will last. Now, maybe you get a certain type of cotton cloth. Look, I don't care about what type, you try to one up and say, oh, well, it got to be this, it got to be that, it got to be cut, and I don't know about that. Make sure it's extra absorbent on your ass. You like the colors, whatever color you like. If you don't want certain chemicals, be mindful of the, you know what to do. You know what to do. But that's just one option, just so we can save money, because they're going to try to squeeze us, and so we got to be aware of that. You got your toothpaste covered. That's just for your grooming. You have your toothpaste covered. You got your disinfectant, your cleaning stuff covered, air freshener that can also work as your pest control and your disinfectant. And then now you got something for your ass, for your urine, and growing your own babies, the lamb's ear, or mullein, or toilet paper plant. It's literally called toilet paper plant, but I believe the name is like blue flower plant or some shit like that. You got that. You can make your own toothpaste. Also, you might want to get silicone grade toothbrushes, because then you could disinfect it. It can last longer. You get silicone grade toothbrushes, or you can get the metal based toothbrush where you just switch off the handle, and you can get a bamboo one. You can switch, the metal will last, and you can just switch the head off. What we would like a Black American to invent is a metal-based toothbrush with a silicone bristles. So if you get and then you could take it off and then add a new silicone one. I need you guys to invent that immediately. So that you guys, that's a forever toothbrush. The metal, the aluminum, the steel is going to last forever, right? The silicone medical grade bristle you can disinfect it. You could take it right off the metal and then boom, throw it in the boiler. And, you got a toothbrush for a long ass motherfucking time. Okay, so get creative with it, but I need you guys to invent that motherfucking ASAP. I gave you the idea. I'm a genius. I'm a... But I'm going to need one of y'all to invent that real quick. I want to see it on the market within a year. And that's going to be excellent for all of us. We won't have to pay no more toothbrush. That's why they don't want to do this stuff, because they want you just buying. Okay? And I'm tired of it myself. How you think? I'm like, shit, I said, I'm buying toothpaste. I said, this toothpaste is motherfucking $8. I said, I had a fit. 79, give me that 79-cent motherfucking baking soda ASAP for that ass. And I'm brushing the teeth with it. I said, this is better than the toothpaste as far as the way, because baking soda gets rid of odors. You ever put baking soda under your arms or baking soda on your pussy? Y'all ask, that shit get rid of odors. Everybody know that. That shit is potent. So if you brush your teeth with that, yeah, you already know. You already know that your breath gonna smell better. You want to add a coconut oil? Like I said, don't spit it in the sink. 1-to-1 ratio. Put it. You have a glass jar. You can have it black or amber if you want to look at the color. And for the week, if you're doing coconut, you spit it right in that jar. And then discard of it. You could properly outside or in your garbage can when you want to. It's probably gonna have like a lid. You could probably add say it's not full all the way. Add super hot water to it. You could discard that out in the grass or something, or in the garbage. Throw it in the garbage and then keep that jar. That's just your disposable jar for your toothpaste. And believe it or not, you'll use less water with that method. I tried it myself, and I didn't even have to use the water because I kept, I had to use the coconut oil with the charcoal, essential oils, stevia, and baking powder, right? And you just spit it in that jar, and your mouth is so clean, you're not needing that water. So maybe at the end you may take some hot water and just swish it around your mouth. But I'm telling you won't even need water. So you'll be saving water too, guys. You'll be saving water. Another method, because we want people to say, this is getting bad. If you urinate, you don't have to flush the toilet every time. Now, I know people may see that's crazy. Oh, you broke or whatever. A gallon, every time you flush the toilet, it's like a gallon. So say if you urinate a lot, you drink a lot of water. Some people drink a gallon of water a day. Some people be drinking, and you got to pee. Don't flush the toilet if it's just urine. If it's fecal matter, hell yeah, you flush it. Come on, let's not get crazy. But if it's urine, you ain't got to flush it every time. Flush it 3 times a day. 1 time, count, and save your motherfucking money. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you want to get real, I give y'all some tips to save it, but I ain't going to give all because you'll be looking at me sideways. But I'm just saying, and start preparing. They got these indoor propane heaters. Start looking at them things. Now, a lot of them are for outdoor use too, but, you may out of a couple. You got diesel. Start looking at these things. Start even how to make homemade hand warmers with iron and charcoal and vermilite and salt yourself. All these start making that shit yourself. With the iron, like seriously, get iron powder from the fucking Walmart. I mean, before they start taking this stuff, I'm just saying. And then also have one suitcase with an emergency that covers a heating device, a solar panel, a solar generator. No, I don't care how small. If it's just to do your laptop and your phone, because you work. Some of you guys work with one of them laptops, right? Solar generator, a heating source. Portable stove. We talking about them little cogs, Kogler's portable stove that's real small. It's only about $10. If you talking about all of this is in a suitcase just cause. What else do you need? Seat volt. If you can get a bag of soil in there, get it. But if you can't, don't worry about that. Just get the seat volt in there. Some sort of generator, solar generator. I don't know how big it. If you got 30, 30-inch suitcase. Have it. I'm just saying if you got to go on a run or something, or just pack and just go. Some sort of heating device. You could do emergency heating. Propane. Be careful how you store that. You could do the 1 pound. Get you. They got some real cool stuff out there. I was looking at. You want to get that. Put that in the suitcase. You got heating, electric, and then you want some lighting, so you can get That's easy to get some lamps, some solar panel lamps, or lamps that take batteries. Batteries, you want batteries in your bag. A water straw, like something that filters water, that cleanses water, or water itself, something that cleanses water, the tubes that cleanse water, or actual water pouches itself. First aid kit, of course. What else? I'm just thinking off the rim. Some sort of device, something to wipe your ass with, obviously. Some clothes. What else? Hand warmers. So that's multiple heating devices. Sometimes you have hand warmers, emergency stoves, heating. You want all those things just right in a suitcase, just cause, or the storage bin. I'm just saying, it depends on it depends on how mobile you are. Like some people, they got their stuff in the storage, or some people you just have it in a suitcase if you like to just move around. You never know we don't know what this stuff is. I'm just saying, keep it in something real small that is portable. You can't take none of this stuff with you. You know what I mean? And so you don't want to think that you don't have to buy a bunch of shit for this. You can keep that shit in your car for for people, especially for those. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need all this stuff. We can't take none of this stuff with us. Anyways, it was funny. A girl said that you don't see U-Haul pull up at any funeral when you go into the casket. So don't be so attached to nothing. Don't be attached to people, places, or things, or nothing. Don't be attached to the system, the material and stuff. If you get to the basics, you'll feel content. If you think creatively on how to survive, but also thrive, because really all you need is that sun and some trees out here. These fruit, what God was naturally gave us. These fruit trees, these nuts and berries and all that stuff that just was growing everywhere anyways. Foliage, what they call it, forage, all that stuff. So that's you don't need much of nothing as much as you think you do. What else? I'm just thinking. We got batteries, light, some lamps. Them little lamps you could buy. I think I got probably 12 of them things, and they fit in a suitcase. They real small. Portable toilet. Believe it or not, $20. You get a portable toilet that's about $20 that fold up, that could fit in your suitcase. Ask me how I know that could fit in your suitcase. Portable shower pop-up tent that you can take a shower, and then you can get that. That's about $17. That you can get there's a portable shower head too that can take electric that heats up. So you can hook that up. You can keep that in your car for people that's living out their car and you don't want to go into them gyms. You can go and you get you that heated shower device. Now you're gonna have to have your own water. You can hook up. You get a gallon of water or something, and if you could charge that thing, or you can hook it up to a solar generator, and you'll have heated water, and you get that pop-up tent that you can use right. If you there's a lot of people living in their car. Let's be real. People trying to act like they got it, but they don't. So let's be real. You could shower if you don't want to go to the gym, or if you want to save on the gym membership, right? Or maybe you do want to go to the gym because you could work out or whatever. But say if you just don't want to that day, but you still want to shower, you get that heated shower head, and you get that pop-up thing. You hook it up to a gallon of water, or if you got maybe a 5-gallon, however, whatever you got in your car or whatever, and you could use that too for emergency showers. What's the other one? So you got your toilet, the portable toilet. That's set up. That little thing is $20, and it fit up to 400 pounds. And you can get you the bags that you put inside, and you can also take that inside of that shower tent, and that shower tent, it acts as a portable toilet potty, like porta potty, and a shower. So you can use that as one. If you got to pull over and use the bathroom and use the bag or whatever, and then discard it properly. Don't just throw it in some on the street and nothing like that. Discard it properly in a dumpster. Drive to it. You still have your privacy, or you could probably pop up that shit right in the car. Some of you got the van, they put them seats down. You could probably pop that shit up right in there and use it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people living out their car because they don't want to pay that $2,000 and $3,000 in rent. And honestly, if I had a car and I was paying $2,000 in rent, I would just live out my car. I ain't gonna hold you. I would strategically. $24,000 in a year I could save in my pocket just from, obviously got to pay your insurance or whatever. But it's like I'm not even gonna hold you. Yes, I would live out my car. If I had to get down like that, and over 2,000 in rent, I'm talking on a strategic level. I would do that for a year, or a year or two. And I know people that have been doing that, saved their money and they went and got them something that they could. Now, one person I know, they working overtime to afford what they have. They wanted a luxury apartment. They a Gen Z, you can't tell them nothing. So whatever. She living out her car. She saved, went to work every day. Both of them went to work every day, 60 hours, 80 hours a week every day. Saved up that money, proved that they can afford it, and they got an apartment. Now the apartment is what she says is $2,500 a month. Hell no. I wouldn't make a move like that. $2,500. Now you bugging. You could have get you $800. Y'all wilding. Y'all bugging. I would go I would have continued living in my car for that kind of money. But that was her plan. It was a smart plan. People were judging people out here. I don't think people should be judging, because this is systemic and this is the government behind it. And they fucking with people, because they want you to comply for digital ID, social control, AI control, surveillance, whatever they trying to do. They want to squeeze you into compliance. And you have to say no. It's about 20% of us left, as they say. 80% probably going to fall. It's 20%. Hopefully them numbers are wrong. I'm saying there'll be 20% of us left that will ride all the way out on the strength of knowing we want to keep our soul, our sovereignty, and our autonomy. Because we know that system is satanic, and we know they're trying to put people in contracts and all types of crazy stuff. You try to sign up just for something simple. It's a weird terms of service now and stuff. You can't even, it was like, damn, we just trying to use an app or something. You know what I mean? It's getting crazy out here. So just keep your head on a swivel, and don't buy into what none of them people are saying. And don't be pressured into folding and compromising on your beliefs and your morality and your ethics for that system. It will not be worth it in the end. I guarantee you. In this lifetime, maybe in this lifetime, if not, you're going to feel it in the next, or your children going to feel it. I'm telling you, don't do it. They try to, I heard somebody say they paid me money to come back. Literally, when she dies, they're going to recycle her consciousness to come back here. She took the money. They're going to, what? Why would you trust something like that? Is insanity. You're already a lost soul. If somebody tell you something like that, you run for the hills. They already paid me money to come back here. So when she dies, she knows she's coming back here. But they paid her money to come back here. They're going to be getting desperate and paying people to come back here, because they fucked up their planet so much, and they want so much control over people. It's not natural. It's not an organic system. It's not natural. It's not in tune with the universe, or even with Mother Gaia, with planet Earth, or with the Most High. So who ain't nobody going to be trying to, they sitting there justifying the trafficking of children, trying to cover up all this stuff and harming, that they did to them girls in that school and stuff. Like, no, like, get out of here. Like, nobody want to be a part of that. So they try to shame us, go vote. You're not getting our energy to vote no Democrat or a Republican. You ain't do shit for no Black Americans. None of them. And you going to say, okay, we take away your voting rights. Okay, what is that? Okay. We took away this. Okay, we free in this bitch then. You were an illegitimate, corrupt government, illegal system. Okay, boom. So that means we come up with a new system per constitutional law, per universal galactic law. That's where the Nakhti order come in on that ass. And we not playing with y'all, because you violated the social contract. You violated social contract. You violated the Constitution. You violated every law. How do you pay off politicians to go on with corrupt system, sell out this country? I'm not the enemy. The government is. That's my patriots. Y'all ain't no motherfucking patriots. You went along to get along. You took that money and you thought that y'all was going to have a racist 2.0 system and keep black and everything. Y'all make it about race. You're too childish and insecure and jealous to follow treaties and to follow laws, good ones. And so you wanted to get us out the paint long because it was a white face. You was happy. You don't even realize the white face don't give a fuck about you. Them people don't give a fuck about us. They don't. None of them do. They don't give a fuck about us. And Michael Jackson already told you, they don't really care about us. Like, wake up. They don't care about us. Like, You're not going to vote this away. I don't care what. That's mind control. And I'm telling you now, they get so upset at me. They want to call me out, call colleague J.N.S. out, because I will gut your motherfucking ass. Just on logic alone. You had done nothing for black Americans for 70, 80 years, 60 years that we don't have nothing. We worse off than we ever have been. And black Americans gave the Democrats their vote. Okay? Now, I get at both parties. I'm telling you, they keep saying, why y'all keep saying both sides? Okay, if you are Latina or an immigrant, maybe you can't both sides it because you benefit from the Democrats' policies. You have benefited from it. But to make it seem like black Americans have benefited from it, we don't get nothing out of it. We always had shoddy-ass health care. We weren't really getting no good health care. We wasn't getting the access to what other people are getting to in terms of loans, business loans, any type of business, anything would relate to self-autonomy. We weren't getting it. Housing, we weren't getting it. Let's be real. We weren't getting anything out of it. Now, you ain't gonna get shit out the Republicans either. That don't mean go run your nappy-headed ass over to go Republican, Trump. You ain't getting shit either over there. You ain't get nothing but ethnocide. Because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. The whole agenda of the government is to ethnocide black Americans and to enslave whoever else is left, okay? Whoever else is with the program, whatever color you are. And then you're probably on the chopping block too for ethnocide. So I don't understand why y'all trying to guilt trip black Americans. Y'all wagging y'all finger. Oh, y'all ashamed. Our ancestors will say, we want the Nakhti order. My ancestors will say, we want a new system, two-party system to corrupt. We not sending our children and niggas to go and vote for people that cover up the fucking Esteem files. Neither party. Okay, y'all want to sit up there? Y'all was doing secret society weird stuff. Y'all was doing child trafficking. Okay, we don't want that. We're not telling this is what Thurgood Marshall would say. This is what Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington was one of the most brilliant minds that's underrated in the black community. You need to study Booker T. Washington. He was on some black intelligentsia, but on some Machiavellian. He was real covert with stuff. And when he was telling that he wanted Negroes to get into agriculture, to own them farms, and to focus on education and agriculture, it wasn't a bad idea. Now, he wasn't as radical, but you see how he was not on board with that system. He really did want, okay, if the Negroes got all the skills. Remember how they sent spies in that school that he had because he knew that they knew he was secretly teaching them all these different types of skills for them to run their own stuff. That was the precursor to set up to these black towns that you see. Booker T. Washington was on that level, but he was hiding it. Okay, so you didn't know what the final plans was. But if you study his work and his frameworks, you'll see that he was building up a framework for niggas to build up their own intentional communities and to have them cities that you see. All them cities that got burned out, Durham and Sweet Auburn and Tulsa. When you see all that stuff like that, his frameworks, believe it or not, provide the blueprint for that. That college that he was teaching them starts with the agriculture, but you also get into your other trade skills. Your vocational skills is the basis of what you need to set up your cities. That's why I said they have to get back into them trade skills. You should not be sending no black boy to college, or even American boy. You should not be sending no boy that's 17, 18 to a regular college to go learn psychology and history and fine arts. No, they need to go to a fucking trade school to learn agriculture, irrigation, electric engineering, things with solar energy, renewable energies. What else? You guys know what other fields they need. Carpentry, plumbing. These are the fields because that's the basis that you need to read. If they don't know them skills, then what? They have to know the carpentry, metallurgy, and get all advanced when they need to. They can learn that tech shit at home. To be honest, they can learn that tech shit when they 15, 16, 17, if they need to know coding or whatever. Shit, I learned tech shit when I'm 9 years. They put us in front of that computer at 9 years old at Charter School for Applied Technologies. At 9, every day, they put us in front of that computer. And they was using our brains to train it. We ain't know all that, but that's where it started, believe it or not. I remember it was experimental. I put a computer in front of us at 9 years old at school, at the schools, and told us to go to google.com and was telling us to type in certain stuff. And they just was watching us. I'm telling you, we was doing that. And remember, I told you when we was looking at each other and we started putting in titties in Google. We started putting in titties, and then titties would pop up. We were 9, 10 years old. The teachers, we putting in dick. DICK. We know how to spell dick at 10 years. And dicks will pop up. And so I remember the kids, we all laughing. Ha ha! Ooh, look at that! Ooh, ooh! All the kids. And the teacher came over to see what we was doing. They reported to administration, and then they blocked it. So we were typing titties, and nothing would come up. So they went and hurried up and blocked it. But then we were on Black Planet, and we got wild. We were on Black Planet. We was on, it was a diary. The girls would play Sims. No lie. Now, they didn't block Sims, thank God. But when they used to sit us in front of that computer and watch was hell what we was just going to do naturally. Because we were I remember I told you that they had like a special program for us. We were the first students at that school, very first students at that school, one of the first charter schools in Buffalo, very first students at that school. And they gave us so many tests. They were constantly testing us, benchmarks, SRIs, SFAs. These were not even standardized tests. Like, obviously, you had your regents, whatever. They were just testing us on a weekly basis. Like, it was weird. And then I told you when my friends pulled me to the side, they experimenting on us, girl. This is an experiment school. They got us. They watching, and we just playing around. But we were on them computers, man, typing up all types of crazy stuff, looking up, because they would tell us go on Google. They would only could use Google, by the way. They say you can only use Google, and we would type in Sims and Black Planet, and that's when we would play with them HTML. Remember them little HTML designer things you had to draw when you make the pretty girls and the black girls with the 90s hairstyles with the them little GIFs that we used to have to make those HTML and CSS. Remember you guys remember that? And we used to put it on Black Planet or put it on MySpace and all that stuff. So we've been doing that shit since we were 9, 10 years old. So all y'all acting like they gotta go, you gotta learn their AI, you're gonna be left behind. I'm gonna tell you this: you'll never be left behind if you follow your heart and your soul, and if you follow the Most High. All that tech that they talking about, I can prove to you that it's in the Old Testament, in the New Testament. Okay, that's just biblical. We can obviously pull up Rig Veda, the Bhagavad Gita. We could pull up any of these texts, and I would show you that technology, that's old. It ain't new. Sumerian texts, Kemet, obviously that's a big one. That one should be a given. But I could pull it up in the New and Old Testament. The people say, well, how come there's no pharaoh? How come there's no documentation of Hebrew pharaohs and all that stuff? Because it was a different approach. It was, you get your ashes go into the river. There's no record of that type of stuff. Because of when you die, you're not getting no big old tomb full of gold and all these things. The approach to death was different. You get cremated really quickly, or you get buried fairly quickly and very basic. You're dead. The spirit is gone. The ghost, you gave up the ghost, as they say. They gave up the ghost. The ghost is gone. The spirit is gone. It's a body. It's a vessel. It's empty. So you would cremate and keep it moving. Here the ashes, dust, and take your ass under the river or somewhere. And you like the river, or you go to or you go to the place. You'll be a fucking tree or something. The ghost is gone. So that's why if you see Jacobians, it's such a plainness. And then even you see how some of them were inspired by the Commission style too. You see a lot of them. You could see that even in Sun Ra's work when he's doing the basic interviews or the basic way of life. You see him dressed more in Jacobian style, very plain. But then when they're going to go perform, he have them Negroes with shining, all that glitter, all of that. That's how he viewed them. And see, he was a chieftain, and so that's how he viewed the Negro. He wanted them in that light. If you look at the performance of you see all that dress, them pretty hats, all that excess shining. You can see it on the camera. The how it's glittering, like Like, that's how he wanted them to look. Because that's how he saw them. Regardless of how America saw them, regardless of, oh, you just some slave. This ain't a slave. No, he already knew. That's 250 years of history. They got thousands of epigenetics, different star systems. They don't remember being born. They told them they were born. 1969, 1992, 1970. We don't remember that. They could have told us anything. We living under mind control. I'm like, what the fuck? They could have told us. Did any of you remember being born? Okay. They told you this was your parents. They told you, it's some weird shit going on. That's all I'm saying. And so, with that being said, these beings come from different star systems. Orion, Pleiades, Arcturus, also mentioned in the Bible for religious thumpers. And you could see how he want them shining, looking so pretty with all that gold and all of that. And I ain't saying it was 100% real gold, but I'm saying like just the clothing style. That's how he viewed them. But if you also see where they were, how they would dress when there wasn't a show and just inside the house, very, very pretty much plain style, And so with that being said, you guys, you don't have to have, you don't have to go to college for tech skills. You can learn the tech skills on your own. I got off on a tangent. You learn tech skills on your own. But they need to go for the vocational trades because if that's the setup, we setting this up very strategically. If these men and women can go too, if we say it's the men too, the men, but the women have a different set of skills that we would primarily promote. Obviously, midwifery, doula, nursing, language programming. Believe it or not, because women are naturally good with that. What else? Horticulture for women as well. Horticulture. Agriculture. I'm not saying they can't. If they want to learn welding, if they want to learn carpentry, don't block them from doing it. And vice versa. If the men want to, I don't really want to learn that stuff. I want to, my heart is, I want to do textile making. I like textiles. My skill is in textiles. You can't limit people. So a lot of the women, they would like to gravitate towards those textiles because they like to be cute and, all that stuff. They like to, so they'll probably be making a lot of the clothes and stuff. There's people that do all different types of things. So you have to go with what you naturally drawn to. But I'm saying at the rebuilding of society, you have to have certain skills. And so you don't send your kids to these colleges with all these pays, all this, send their ass to vocational school, trade school. I think this white woman, she was just about some, she's sending her kid to college for 4 years and he was not on board. It was like, she was all excited for him. And she was trying to get him all excited. But what he was studying kind of like, was like, And then it was like he wasn't excited at all. But what she don't realize is that he's an alpha, right? They know that this system is shuttered. Like, they know that it's an illusion. Why are you sending him to school to learn some bullshit and you should be sending him to a damn trade school? And she's sitting there going along with it like, yeah, be happy. And he's sitting there like looking at her like, I really, something like, like his heart not in it. And if you're going to waste time like that for 4 years, you might as well get you some actual skill. You better learn welding or fucking carpentry. And you can learn all these different skills, plumbing, irrigation. That take 4 years right there. Because these programs are only a year long. So you do electrician for 1 year, carpentry for 1 year, welding for 1 year, plumbing for 1 year, boom. Or agriculture, however you want to do it, whatever you're drawn to. But that should be honestly what the parents are sending their kids to learn. In all honesty. Because there's going to be a schism. Y'all waiting for your visitors and all this stuff. We don't know. I'm saying we still going to have to, what you going to do? Go deteriorate society, become homeless, and then start eating each other and fighting each other? Or are you going to take matters into your own hand and realize what they're trying to do to us and come up with a parallel infrastructure like I've been telling your asses for 6 years? Alternative systems. You're not going to be able to vote your way out of that. Some of us don't want to be a part of that. We don't feel like being bothered. What do we get out of it? We still can't afford shit. I see how y'all did me as a targeted individual since 2015. So y'all can never convince me to be a part of that damn system. There's some things of it that could be redeemable, but that ain't of the system. That's just the programs and the organizations that people themselves have set up. They ain't got nothing to do with the government. So I'm not demonizing everybody. But I'm saying, like, y'all sitting up there gaslighting us now. Gaslighting Black America. And they sending Black people to do it. Y'all didn't vote. Y'all didn't do this. Y'all messed this up. It wouldn't have mattered any motherfucking way as quiet as it is kept. It would have bought a little more time, but the shit was gonna shudder any fucking ways. It was gonna get real anyways. Time is up. Treaty is up. It gotta go back to the rightful ears anyways. Y'all know what the deal is. Y'all know how much these motherfuckers copy me. Every little thing I put up, a post, a tweet, a damn YouTube video. Y'all see how they respond to my videos to undermine me. Y'all see it. So they're fighting me. That's like they called my phone and said, we gonna do whatever we can to keep our power and fight your bloodline. The fuck you call my phone and tell me some shit like that? Some boule government dude. And he was relaying that on a strength of the bloodline families. It wasn't coming from him. He just said, this is what they told me to tell you. And I'm still like a deer in headlights, confusing a motherfucker. Because I'm still Jenny and unstanley. It don't matter what my octave and oversoul. Obviously, I have octaves from ancient Kemet and ancient Hebrew science. That's been in my bloodline since the beginning of time. So obviously, I understand that. They understood it before I understood it is the point that you need to take from it. They understood what was going on before I did. I ain't know shit. I just want to go eat Outback and chill and watch my little show. I ain't sitting there stalking and watching every little thing out, you know. The point is, we is definitely the illusion with that system. We don't understand why y'all gaslighting us, them policies y'all pushing. We don't like none of these candidates y'all trying to push out. Ain't none of them. I'm not going to follow nobody that I'm more intelligent than or that's copying me. So, like, I don't understand what are we getting at with this. Like, they got these dry-ass candidates, lame-duck candidates, saying the same old shit that y'all been saying for the last 50, 60 years, or stuff that's stolen from somebody else. It ain't even their original thoughts. So, I don't understand what we doing with this. I don't understand, like, what this system is trying to do. It's a disgrace. It really is, to be honest. Because I see it from the shadow side, too. I ain't going to hold you. Like, I see, like, what they're doing from that level. And that's the part that they trying to cover up. But I can still see it. And that's the part that makes me upset, because it's like they rolling out these reptilian ass niggas. I ain't even gonna hold you. I think they some Draco. I ain't gonna say that, like, because just being of a serpentine bloodline is not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing, and most Black Americans are of that. And so we're not going to demonize that. But we talking about these Dracos, like, it's like a different type of energy. They about power, control. They are obsessed with control. And they naturally, like, they'll just make up a lie about anything. And there's white and black ones. They don't think it's just a color thing. And I'm starting to see their spirit. And what I want Black Americans to do is I want them to show y'all they teeth. I want them to show it to you, because y'all still under that illusion. Y'all still want to idolize these people. Y'all still want to idolize these charlatans and elevate charlatans. So y'all gonna have to learn the hard way. But y'all they gonna show you they teeth, as far as how, like, the stuff that I've been going through and how obsessed they are with control and really how it's just a selling the soul system, how they want to traffic souls. Y'all gonna see that that's really all it's about, is them trying to snatch souls and traffic souls and steal identities. Like, I want y'all to be able to see that up close, because when it happened to you, because it happens to me as far as what they trying to do to me. But once you guys, I want you guys to see it in mass, because y'all don't get it. I'm steady saying they trying to ethnocide us, and they're using our own people that talk and walk like us, and y'all still walking towards like a chamber, like y'all still going towards the slaughterhouse, pretty much, because you want to be popular, or you think you're going to get a bag, or you think you're going to get money. That fiat currency is fake. It was never real. Like, y'all have to, it's mind control. It's an illusion. It's not, none of it is real. None of it. And that's the part where it's sobering. It's shocking, it's sobering. But all they pretty much do is just be, these are occultists that like to steal people's identities. They can't really steal a destiny as much as you think they can, because you have to decree and declare your own destiny. And only God knows your real, your true story, your destiny. People could try to derail you and try to copy and mimic you all the time. But they can't really steal your destiny. I mean, in a mainstream sense, like obviously you see people copy me and we've documented, like, and I have way more documentation of it than what I just put out there. But like celebrities and all that stuff, you see them copy me and all that stuff, but it don't even mean anything. It's not their frequency. You can't copy a frequency. You can copy someone's actions, but you're not copying a frequency. You can try to talk like them, sound like them, but it's still, you can't copy their frequency. So the outcome is still always going to be different. And ain't going to be the same. God ain't going to put his hands out on it. There's no light. Somebody could copy me. There's no light in it. It ain't had no light. And then they come and say, do these Satanists come and say, well, it don't matter who said it first. It matters. Well, they got a whole network of people that they big up in their algorithm, right? But it does matter, because those people were complacent for 20, 30 years and watching deaths, watching pedophilia, watching all this stuff. And they ain't do shit. They wanted to keep their head down and get their money. And so when a real nigga come, then you just act like you could just copy them to derail what they trying to do? No. It don't work that way. So either way, it'll get settled. So you shouldn't worry about it, but you still have to do your own thing. If you try to infiltrate their stuff, then yeah, you're going to have issues. But if you're just doing your own thing, like I said, you'll never get left behind. Don't ever let people tell you, oh, y'all don't learn AI, you're going to get left behind. You can never get left behind if you follow your soul and your heart. You won't get left behind. That AI shit is old, thousands of years old. But when it's not AI, it's an egregore. It's from ancestral science. It's Saturnian 125D science, Atlantean science. It's from my bloodline science. And it's not artificial, for one. Two, is the way they're using it, dissemination and implementation of it is horrible, horrific. Same with the crypto. It's not fully developed. And angels did that on purpose because they knew, let's watch and see what they do. The first thing they went to was racism, power, greed, military, surveillance, control. Up. We're glad we didn't give you the whole blueprint because you're a fuck up. Because you're a sellout. So we glad we didn't give you shit. We didn't give you much of nothing. You showed us your hand before you didn't even, you got so desperate to take me out. You got so desperate. You didn't even, you know, we was giving out crumbs pretty much. Okay. So that's how y'all want to roll. Okay. And watch it be your undoing. Since you want to steal shit, since you want to pirate shit, since you think it's okay to be a copycat ass slave bitch. Because you ain't shit. Okay. Let it be your undoing then, bitch. You untalented bitch. That's what you say to these people that's copying you. And I don't care how cruel I sound. I'm not a cruel person. You guys know that. But let's be real. Targeted individuals, chosen ones, everybody that's been copying you, doing all this shit. Yeah, you got a right to say, we primordials. I don't know what side y'all. We primordials. We higher than, like, primordials don't think like how y'all think they think. Okay? We peaceful, loving, cool, calm, collective, forgiving, cool. Love, yeah. But don't sit and play on our motherfucking top. Don't try to, don't do that bullshit to us. Because we will fight back. And we will cuss your ass out. We don't care. Okay? And that's what you say to those people that's been copying you. That's been doing that shit to you. Trying to slow you down. Trying to do that. You look them right in their eye or whatever. And you just know. You a talentless hack. A copycat slave bitch. That's what you always gonna be, fool. And now you walk away permanently and you do your own thing with the people that's on your vibration and frequency. And if they want to come and fight, then you fight. But you don't sit and let these dark-ass energies tether on you, these weird-ass energies be all up on you. Because they ain't fuck with you. They'll never fuck with you. They never liked you. A person that wants you to win will help you win. A motherfucker that'll look out for you. None of that. So what the fuck you sitting up there, all up in their face for? That's your problem. And then they gaslight you and make it and demonize you and try to do smear campaign on you and go around tell everybody you crazy and all this shit crazy. Yeah, whatever. Your system is fucking crazy. You're a disgrace. Your system is fucking crazy. How you charging somebody for water, charging someone for, then they got all these, now they have the cars, they want you to have subscription service just for a radio. Remember in the 90s, your motherfucking cars had radios. People used to steal the radios out of cars. Now they want you to pay for that, to listen to the radio. A subscription. Pay for a subscription for these car services now. Features that were just regularly in the car back in the day. Okay, there's methods for that. I'm not coming out with the other methods for that yet, but there's workarounds around that. Don't buy these new cars, but there's also other methods for transportation. Don't go into that matrix and think, oh, it's just all doom and gloom. Unless you got a contract with the devil, you good. You know, unless you done did something, I don't see how you the only people, like that one lady gonna say, some white lady gonna get a viral. That's why they always pushing this stuff viral. But y'all listening to them people for, they don't know what the fuck they doing. She gonna get out there and say, you gotta have a licensing from the government. You gotta go to the government to get the pesticide for your seeds now, for your plants. And you gotta go to, it says who? You must have got a contract with them. You must have did something, because no, you could use chili, you could use chili pepper. You could use neem. You could use essential oils for pest control around your plants and for your farming. 10 years ago, I stayed with a white lady who had turned her house into like these different studios. Now, the house was valued around $500,000. She went and turned the house into different studios and rented to like some students, like 2 students. Her studio, so she had 2, me and another person there, and she had her own house on her side. And do you know she was growing sunflowers, strawberries, all that shit? And now she had a policy where the birds was able to fly in her house. Like if you go visit her, the birds was inside of her house. She had all the windows open, so the birds would constantly just be flying in, because she had the bird feed inside of her house. She didn't put the bird feed outside the house. It was inside, so the birds would come inside her house to go to the bird feed, because she would train them. Now, but she had strawberries, all this shit out there in the front, right? They have deers, in certain parts of Georgia. These motherfucking deers would come up, bite that sunflower seed, bite, big ass teeth mark in it. I should have been laughing. I was cracking up when I went out there and I saw bite marks from them deers. Them deers was hungry, and them big ass sunflowers. You know how big ass sunflower seed look. Imagine half of it missing because of the damn deer teeth. Imagine just seeing a bunch of sunflower seeds with teeth. Them deers was getting crazy out there. So she went and got the chili. She went and got some chili pepper spray that she made. She made the chili pepper spray. She got the neem and all this stuff. But I think she used chili mainly. And she sprayed it, on her crops and stuff so they could stop coming eating her shit. They was eating it. And they did stop coming. They didn't like it. They didn't like whatever, that spray that, they could smell that shit, that capsaicin. Whatever is in it, they didn't like it. So they stopped biting it. They stopped eating her stuff. But there's ways. Like, you ain't got to just... I couldn't believe she was reporting that. And you got to go to the government now. You ain't got to do that shit unless you're already in bed with them. See, the devil come to collect, and you already made a deal with them 20, 30 years ago. And now just to keep what you have, they come back knocking and say, oh, yeah, you can't buy that pesticide. You can't use your natural neem. You got to use what we tell you to use in order to renew your contract and keep your fucking farm and to keep the equipment and all this shit we gave you 20, 30 years ago when you came to us for your deal. This is what they not telling you. I said, nah, you ain't telling them everything, because they can't just force you to do that. They don't even sound right. And if they did, you got a whole fight on your hands. You need, they come and tell you, you got to use, that's now you got to go to war. Now somebody got to, I ain't even going to tell you. I'm talking to all Americans. They come and tell you the government said we can only use their pesticide. We got to die. We got to fight, we got to fight and die trying. That's what I said. Somebody got to die around. Somebody going to die around this bitch. You don't have no choice. At that point, you don't have no fucking choice. You're not going to vote yourself out of this. You're not going to two-party your system out of this. You ain't getting shit with either side. If you black American, you damn sure ain't getting shit with either side. Now, if you a different race, you probably is getting shit with Democrats. You probably is getting a little something. But I'm saying for us, we don't get shit either way. I've been dealing with this shit since 2015 as a targeted individual. I know for a fact none of these parties get shit about me. I'm just saying, first, I don't, and I'm not the only one. See, we're talking about thousands and thousands of people. So why would you expect us to, oh, let's go vote. Oh, we got to get them out. They're trying to scare us so bad. Oh, let's get them out. Shit, this shit can go to shit for all we care because we need a new system. We got more intelligent people that know what the fuck they doing. And we don't need to be listening to none of that bullshit y'all trying to push on us. We don't care about the policies y'all talking about. We care about affordable housing. Then y'all want to price gouge us on that. Then you want to have people paying for electricity. Then you want to have people paying for this shit that we don't need to be paying for. It's criminal. It's criminal and it's satanic. Okay, his time is up. Satan's time is up. Okay? And so that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. I'm just a crazy motherfucker y'all went and told everybody I was. Yep. I'm just a crazy bitch y'all went and told when it come to tearing up this shit. Because it's ridiculous. I was minding my business, doing my thing, writing my little books, doing my... Y'all came to my door with this shit. The government. So I go to them. Y'all want to be racist towards me and do all this racist shit towards me. And y'all send little coded death threats and they're going to send a message and say, oh, that society wants you dead. Okay. What the fuck? Why would I care? I'm not a part of that system. Why the fuck would I care? I talk to the Most High. I try to get my life right, my soul right, rectify the shit I need to work on, shit I need to do. So why the fuck would I? Okay, I have to go through my stuff. I don't have time for whatever they talking about. They gonna do it. Make a move, and then see what happens to your planet afterwards. That's like breaking the seal around this bitch. All the seals pretty much been broken. We waiting to the end. But I'm saying like certain things you go after a certain being, you better be careful. I don't care. To be honest, I'm just as wild and flagrant because we want you to make that move. Because I just want you to see who you fucking with. How about you? Now, everybody got to die. But we talking about wrongful death. There's a difference between dying and wrongful death. Wrongful death that comes from the satanic system. How they killed Aaliyah. Wrongful spiritual death. Wrongful death. Okay? There's wrongful death, and then there's just another fucker just dying. A motherfucker just, you just croaked over. You didn't eat healthy, you died. You just fucking died. That type thing. You died from old age. You died because of this. But wrongful death. Even wrongful death that's set up like, oh, you died in a car accident, but it was really planned, or a plane crash, but they really planned it out. That's still wrongful death. It's still a murder from satanic system, demon kingdom. So, the demon kingdom, they're going to sit up there and send that threat and say, okay, they want you dead. They don't think you should live because of the information that you know, all the knowledge that you know. Okay, whatever. If God let you do whatever. What the fuck? We all going out of here anyway. So, my thing is, y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do? Do it. I'm gotta keep it moving. I'm not capitulating to your system. So if that's gonna be the problem, y'all waiting for a deal, whatever, you're gonna be waiting for the kingdom come. You'll be waiting to kingdom come, and you're gonna be waiting to judgment day. But we already in judgment, okay? And so whatever. I want you to fucking do it just so you can see how real this shit is. Because you sit up there that ain't real and they trying to get us with a book. It ain't about no book, bitch. It ain't about no book. This is primal science that existed from the alpha to omega, the beginning to the end, since primordial time, since the science of melanin was created through entropy and through the whole conception of light itself. So we don't give a fuck about none of that shit you talking about, bitch. Talking about you trying to make everything about a religion. These people. On both sides, a lot of the shit. Let's talk about the Satanists that infiltrated the church. So, to be honest, we way beyond that. Y'all want to be stuck in arguing about Bible verses and that's the demon. She's the demon. Kali's Genie's the demon. Oh, that's a jinn. Oh, that's a Nagas. Oh, that's a Netter. Oh, that's a this. That's a dragon. Oh, that's Leviathan. Oh, that's the Antichrist. Oh, that's Yeshua. That's an angel. That's the... No, nobody give a fuck about none of that shit y'all arguing about sitting there. Y'all think I don't know what y'all doing in our secret society. Y'all think I can hear all that shit? Calm all that shit down. All that gossip and all that rumor shit down, my nigga. I can hear all that. I just block it out. Anybody know radio frequencies and how it's all energy and how you can tune into certain... It's radio, even thoughts. So it's like, whatever. We don't give a fuck about that. Okay? Because you ain't gonna never know. You're not gonna ever know. It's like a thief in the night, bitch. Because we've been told y'all this day was coming. And honestly, it's somewhat of a time loop. Not quite a time loop, but y'all timeline where y'all at, which they trying to force a time loop and they trying to force a prophecy. And see, you don't have to force no prophecy. See, that we don't believe in. I don't know what was going, you got to just live your life. I ain't in the business of trying to read something and go, let me just try to carve this prophecy out. Let's put this character, is that Nero? Oh, she said this. That money she's just, that's her to bear in the Bible. Oh, that's that. Whoa. Grow up. That is so spiritually immature. Grow the fuck up. It's embarrassing. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Let me get off this planet. Oh, take me, Jesus, whatever y'all say down here. It's mind-boggling. I'm like, are we serious? Nonetheless, back on topic. Let's get back to the physical. Y'all is dead ass wrong to come to the grassroots and to try to shame us, talking about some y'all didn't vote. This was needed to happen. What needed to happen? The whole system needed to shudder because you need a new system. And need to go back to the Jacobian rightful heirs, which I am the highest ranking one. And y'all want to get mad and I'm not being self-aggrandizing. I'm very motherfucking humble around this bitch. I do my thing. I chill. So what? I let people do what the fuck they want. So whatever. So, but y'all all know what y'all try to take from me. I'm talking about that society. Y'all know who y'all copying and all this shit. Give me a fucking break. Might as well just turn the keys over so we can get this shit really popping and mobilize these people to what they need to be doing. But, because it's no more control. It's no more, satanic power and all this stuff. And we don't believe in child trafficking and all this bullshit. Now it's a problem. Because honestly, it's more about building a framework and moving on. Here's the blueprints. Here's the rest of them. You're going to follow the instructions. We want to see some of we will be delegating. You guys do this. You guys do that. We test, pilot, build up these pilot programs, see what needs to be tested, and keep it moving. You test certain things in incremental stages, and you keep it moving. That's it. You build up the framework. If it's agile, if it doesn't work, you can tweak it, and that's it. If not, or not, and we don't care either way. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You ain't gonna tell no beings from different star systems that they gotta be attached to any one dimension or a planet. This planet is beautiful. But we know what y'all doing on it, and we know the system that's set up is too corrupt for us to get along with it. So we might as well get these humans more back into what is the beauty of nature. And more so getting out of that program and just focusing on what's, what they could do over their very lives, the control they have over their very lives, and what's really important, and that's it. And talking about some Democrat Republican shit is not important to no average Black American life, no Negro life. In other words, Republicans or Democrats don't need to exist for Negroes to survive and any other person on this planet to survive. And that's what the fuck y'all need to understand. Same with the CEOs. The CEOs don't need to be. We don't need any of this stuff to survive, and that's what we're trying to teach them. And you think you need it. I think I need it. We're attached to it. I get it. I use DoorDash. I use Amazon. And what we're trying to get out of is that program. Okay, if we could do things on our own. We don't need them to control us like children. And so if I have to be the bad guy, so fucking be it. But I'm speaking the truth. No matter what anyone says, it's the fucking truth. Why are you paying for your water? Why are we paying for this expensive ass electricity? It don't need to go up. Inflation is not real. It's arbitrary. It don't have to go up. Okay, if supply side economics and capitalism is not working, create a new system. See, we are very advanced. We believe in 3-tier systems, 6-tier systems, working simultaneously, whether you have money or no money, barter or a trade exchange agreement, voluntary trade exchange agreement, whether you're going to do the barter, your local economies, and obviously your more decentralized economies, hybrid economies, whether that's offline or online. There's different things going on at once in other dimensions. Some that don't require money, but they do have it. And since we know that this planet is big on money, it's not that you can't just move it to a post-money society. It would have to be transitional. But then you do set up systems where, okay, the people that ain't got no money, they could still trade, they could still survive and live, and actually thrive and be very happy. Probably more happier than the people that's worried about all the money. In all honesty. Oh, another thing that you want to get in your suitcase, because I'm about to wrap this shit up, is a pop-up tent. Some type of pop-up tent. So keep that in your suitcase too. You can keep it folded in a box. You ain't got to take it out the box. Nothing. Just keep that in your suitcase. Keep that in your storage too. That's another one. That was a major one. Honestly, you do need a pop up tent, just because even if you're living in your car, you need to go somewhere. You know, you never know what can happen. You know, or even if you still are renting, or in a house. A lot of people, these mortgages, these HOAs is crazy. The HOAs, there's so much dark stuff coming out, and it's all coming out. The betting system, sports betting, all that gambling. Don't get into none of that gambling. Don't get into no sports betting. We do have a supplemental income. We do have the working. It's not online. It's offline. In a journal, supplemental supplemental economy around sports that's not built yet, and it's not the same as sports betting. So do not get into that, especially as men. You need to take your ass to fucking trade schools. You need to develop barter. Well, pretty much read enterprise architecture, the Queen Mothership. Oh, you didn't like it because that's why they try to bury my shit so bad. I'm telling you, just use that shit. But here's another thing: you don't want to use it, fine. Don't get into that sports betting stuff and gambling. That's not long term, or even day trading. There's other methods. I'm not saying don't invest in the markets, but I mean, be smart. That stuff is all manipulated now, you know. So you have to be careful. You could do swing. I'm not saying don't do swing or follow technical indicators or technical analysis. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying just be aware. These things are transitory, if that. Okay, if not outright scams, Ponzi schemes. But at the moment they're transitory, so we'll leave it at that. But that sports betting, get out of that. Don't do that. Don't waste your money or time doing that. Especially if you just now developing a little habit with it, stop immediately. If you know you have a bad habit with it, go get help immediately. Especially if you have kids and a family and a wife and all that stuff, go get help. I'm seeing people punching TVs, throwing shit all over, men acting a fool, punching shit, beating a wife because they lost the bets and all this stuff. Oh my gosh, like, no, don't do that. There's another way that is smarter, that is more intelligent. And the reason why we didn't give it out in public, because that NFL, that NBA and all this stuff, that is rigged. Like Stephen Curry's wife had told us, that it's all rigged. So it's not that there's anything wrong with basketball and football. Say you at the lower levels, not lower levels, but like your local team, your local high schoolers and all this stuff. We're developing some really cool ideas, just like how when they had Negro Football League, Negro Basketball League. There's other things that, as far as building economies around that. If we set that up right, then it's not rigged. Whoever wins. You practice, you go, and the best wins. It ain't no, we paying you to take a dive, you paying this, sign this contract, sign this. No, the economy will be there, and it's supplemental. Again, we're talking about 3 tiers. That one is actually, so we got 3-tier main ones, and then a supplemental one around certain industries. Your arts and your crafts, which is your music, is one, and then your sports is one, because that's leisure, so it is supplemental. It's not necessarily standalone, but they're like the sort of quasi coexisting economies of its own, but it's not gambling. We would not promote someone gambling and getting addicted and gambling, but it is cool and it's clever and it's different, you know. So I've been working on that. I'm not giving these things out. Y'all know why I'm not giving this shit out. Okay, this satanic system is and they'll use it and reverse it, and everything is about control. And so that shit need to shudder. And niggas need to honestly get bold. Like, y'all have to start the machinations of showing this system that it's not, I'm not saying get out there and fight and do nothing stupid, but it's done. Why would you want to be a part of a system that has treated you like that for so long as a black person? They treated us like shit, horse shit, treated me like shit. They always devalued my shit. But stole our shit. They always devalued us, but was stealing and copying. I can't take that shit no more. Stealing trillions of dollars worth of. Why would you want to be around that? I don't care what color they are. It ain't about the race. But yeah, they make it about race, of course. You know, and they do it to a bunch of people, believe it or not. It ain't just like, because even like they say Facebook came out with the CIA, but no, the CIA stole that idea from a regular American. Just like the same idea for LinkedIn. Like a lot of these companies that y'all keep saying, oh, the CIA funded it, the government funded it. They stole it from a regular American. They were just watching them, spying on them, and just took the idea. Like James Chandler with Facebook, and there was another dude. They've been fighting the government, and they can't prove it. They're not going to get anything out of it because the CIA stole the fucking idea, just like they stole idea from me. You know, with the artificial intelligence and NVIDIA GPU stuff. How it came from my capstone. I didn't know they were watching me. I didn't know I had somewhat of a suspicion, like, if you think if you can't be controlled, but not like that. No, I didn't think it was that. I was totally clueless. And so, you guys have to start the machinations of developing those parallel infrastructure. That's what I'll say. So that just means working on how do we rebuild from a low trust society. If you got a group of people that want to make things about race, these insecure, jealous ass people, get away from them. They're not mentally ill. They are insecure and jealous. Because if you give them the title, like I heard, like honestly, like I was getting upset at a black male kept saying, see, racism is mental illness. You keep labeling it mentally ill to give them a pass, because if someone is racist and you just say it's mental illness, you could still technically be around them, because the person's just mentally ill. You're still around your mentally ill auntie, your mentally ill mom, your mentally ill. You see what I'm saying? So you cannot treat that like that. You give them too much of a pass. If you say, oh, that's just mental ill, then that means you still stuck around them, and you're excusing their racism by saying it's mentally ill. No, it's jealousy and insecurity. And in life, you never hang around jealous, insecure people in general. You get away from them. Oh, you jealous of me? Let me get away from you. You show me your teeth? Let me get away from you. So why are black people trying to justify their racism by saying it's mental ill, especially black men? And then now all these black men killing black women, and they trying to say all the black men are mentally ill. You see what we're saying here? You see where this is going? Where they get to use that as an excuse. Is it, it's like, don't do that. How is that mental illness? Castrating your ass, cutting out babies, stumping on them, lynching you, doing all types of crap. Oh, that's mental illness now? So then you give them a pass to keep doing it, you fucking idiots. I was so upset at hearing him say that. And that was a person I'm related to. And I was like, yeah, that's dangerous what you're saying. Just like how Draco ass with him there telling these motherfuckers, oh, it's narcissism. No, say it's satanic. Like, you tricking them because it's psychopathy. The definition of narcissism is found in all 3, 4, 5-year-olds. So the term that you're looking for is psychopathy. That's a different thing we dealing with. Sociopathy, psychopathy, malignant personality, so whatever you want to say. But I just say it's satanic. I keep it what it is. And what the issue is when you sit up there and label them mentally ill, then they get to still use I'm just mentally ill. I just don't know any better. You got these people that get dementia. The only word that they remember is the N word and how to be racist to a black person when they get a black nurse. That ain't no mental fucking illness. That's somebody that's fucked up in it. That's some satanic ass shit. And we're not saying that all white people are racist. But we talking about, don't give them that pass. Just like don't give black men that pass. Oh, they are mental ill because that's what that femicide stuff. They not that. Them people not mentally ill. They call it what it is. Because then you got to be around it still. Because honestly, it's people that got mental illness all the time. Anxiety, depression. You still be around them. You still be married to your mentally ill spouse. They got all types of, they neurodivergent as a motherfucker. Neurodivergent, ADHD, anxiety. Okay, that's mental illness. And that could be recovered. That ain't nothing to demonize them about. But what I'm saying, that's mental ill. You still be around. You still love your depressed aunt. You still love your ADHD cousin. You still let them live with you. They work together. They functional. They good. You can't say that about a motherfucking racist person that's sitting there trying to dog you out, cut your dick off, lynch you, do all types of crazy stuff to you. See you down and out, destitute, no money, no nothing. You can't say that about a group of people that's doing that to you. That's not mental fucking illness. Say what it is. Stop being a coward. It's Satanist, jealousy, insecurity. Get the fuck away from me, bitch. That's what you say. Okay, that's how y'all want to roll, fine. But we will not be around you. We will come out from among them. We will not violate our soul. We will not violate the Most High. And we will not be around a group of people that will devalue us. Y'all want to go to war about it? Or do you just, we gonna do our thing, you do your thing, keep it moving. We mature enough to just keep it moving because we got the blueprints. 125D, Saturnian, Atlantean, Pleiadian, Orion, Arcturian, Andromedan blueprints, Comet blueprints. Okay, bitch. So we could go separate and watch in 10 years with a nigga like me. I can't say about the rest of them knuckleheads, but a nigga like me and Negroes, they'll be good. That I know 100%. If you want to be racist to us. But what you gonna have? Because all you did was copy and steal all our shit. And I got the books and the text to prove it. Shit from 1800s, 1700s, 1600s. To prove where Blue Cross Blue Shield was built. To prove these guilds. All these metallurgy guilds and all this stuff. I found where it all came from. The tribes and everything. 1,000-year-old secret societies in Akibalan and in North America that have been all that shit. We already know where you stole it all from. Feudalism, all that, all mercantilism, all that. We already know where you got it from. Navigational skills, all that shit. We already know. Yeah, I could lie about it. We all good. It's all good because I already know. I know in my motherfucking head where you stole it from. I already know. And you reversed engineer or you misinterpret and even know what the fuck you was reading or doing. And so if you want to sit and be racist, and the only way this system keep going is black people's at the bottom. We ain't being at the bottom forever. Y'all can forget that bullshit. I'm not staying at no bottom for no motherfucking ever for these idiots. So why would you think that somebody gonna be at the bottom just because of their skin color? You out of your raggedy ass fucking mind. Okay, we gotta keep it moving. And if you want to sit and come as that nasty satanic force and you know you want to be racist and you know, we can only have it at the bottom. Why are you so jealous and insecure of your motherfucking self that you got to have somebody beneath you to feel good about your fucking self? Ask yourself that. Go to the Most High about that. Why the fuck do you feel that somebody got to be down and out so that you could feel good about your motherfucking self based on a goddamn skin color? Are you a spiritual disease in human form? Are you a satanic force? Or what the fuck is wrong with you? Why you ain't building up your own inner man? Why you need somebody to be down for you to fill up all these fucking CEOs, all of these greedy ass bitches? Why they need somebody to be all... Why they need ask yourself that. Why they need black people to feel like that? Huh? Why you need them all down and out so that you can feel better about yourself? Why you can't feel better about yourself while just minding your business and having everybody else mind their business? All over the world. Mind their business. Everybody doing their own thing. Bringing what they contribute to the world. Innovation and values that they bring to the world. Why you got to be somebody got to be under the control in order for you to feel like, because you want that bestiality, animalistic. And the thing is, y'all got to study there's so much stuff that I wish I could teach online now. I'm not teaching that shit. Whew, man. Man, oh man, if y'all knew. This shit is deep. And I don't see any work around it. Them niggas that want to choose that, let them choose it. Because it is going to be a lot of people that fall to the wayside. It ain't about race. At the end of the day, it's a lot of people that is just out of just out of it. Okay? So it's about 20% of us left. It is only about 20% of us left. And that's a fact. There's only about 20% of us left. So what are we going to do? We're going to have to find each other and we're going to have to develop trust because a lot of the target individuals don't trust nobody. We don't. Because we know what we've been through and how many plants been in our lives and how many times we've been fucked over even by people we thought loved us. People we was all types of shit. People we thought really loved us. They had nothing but war in their heart for us. Their words was, like the Bible say, the words was as smooth as butter, but war was in their heart. How many of you is psychic telepathy know how to read thoughts? Y'all better watch that show called The Messengers, and that dude that know how to read thoughts. How many? That's the gift Yeshua had too. Y'all remember? And he's sitting up there talking, and they saying smiling in your face, but all the time when they take your place, you can you can see it in their eyes. They can't even hide it in their eyes. How many of you been around people like that? Okay, so we're not playing games anymore. They're gonna be on that bullshit. We're not being at the bottom of nothing no more. Okay. And so these scary ass niggas, you better get your little puppets and roll them out on stage and roll them out to distract. Do what the fuck you gotta do. Okay, because we already peep game around this bitch. We know who's on whose side, whether they black or white, whatever. Okay, we following the light. That's it. We follow the light. We ain't following none of that bullshit. And I'm gonna tell you this. Like I said, the group of people that want to be racist, and we're not saying it's all white people, but the group of people that want to be racist, get the fuck away from us. Do your own thing. Ain't nobody mad at, okay, we just want to have our own town. We want to just have our own. Do you. But don't get mad when niggas do it too. When we say we want to have our own town, no, you ain't coming over. You ain't, don't roll. Don't do it. And they say, well, we got all this, we got all that. You got to go to China and Africa just like everybody else. And honestly, everybody is sick of your shit. Do you think China forgot about them opium wars that you put their people through? You think India forgot about what y'all did, that Britain did in their imperialism? Yeah. And you think Japan forgot what you did with that nuclear, Hiroshima? You think Africa forgot what you did with all the colonization, Belgium, Congo, the wars, South Africa, Congo, Zimbabwe? You think they forgot about all that? You think South America forgot what you did in Brazil and all this shit? What Spain did and what they did in Mexico? You think everybody forgot about all that? You think Black Americans forgot about what you did to them for 400 years? You think we forgot? You think the Caribbean, you think Jamaica forgot what y'all did over there to them people when y'all had set up them plantations over there? You think people forgot? So yeah, you got some cowardly ass sellout motherfuckers. You got them. But then you got some motherfuckers that actually remember that shit. Okay? Now, we ain't talking about revenge, but we want to get the fuck away from that force. Whatever that shit is on you, you get it the fuck away from us. Is all we saying. And get your shit together and act fucking right. Act like a fucking human. For once. Get your shit together. Stop fucking around playing on somebody's top. Ain't nobody about to follow a motherfucker that's copying some black woman in the hood. From Buffalo. Elon Musk copying my shit. What the fuck? I ain't gonna follow your stankin' ass for it. You said you wanted to be racist. You was doing the Hitler sign, all that stuff. The Nazi sign. If it's just an action, you need to come out and say it. If it's under contract, whatever. But we tired of this shit. Because they still paying black people too, believe it or not. I know that the black people that's on their payroll. Elon Musk and on them, they paying black people that's on their payroll. But they not on our side. They on the system side. They there to keep the system going, and they there to keep the distractions going. They doing nothing but gossip, showing so much gossip. Oh my gosh. And all these YouTubers, notice that YouTubers that we grew up 10, 15 years watching. Notice all of the YouTubers all of a sudden starting to play CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all their clips now. Notice, it's a requirement. It's coming from the top down. Notice how many of them are doing it. They're not showing the article and just saying, hey, look at the article, guys. Look at this is that. No, they're not doing it. They are showing whole ass clips of CNN and Fox News. Nigga, if I wanted to watch, wouldn't I just watch Fox News? I come to watch you for spiritual shit. I come to watch him for, whatever. This channel was known for talking about some history. This channel is known for talking about spiritual stuff. This channel was known for talking about more so his own politics shit. Why are y'all, all of them, I noticed it. They all showing Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. That's programming. That's still a part of the program. In order for them to get up in that algorithm, in order for them to get them views and all that, they have to do whatever, from top down. Now, they think I can't see that. And the other people, they probably can't see that. But I might notice that Gen Zs and millennials and alphas, we watch them YouTubers, certain, and they all want to play. If I want to watch CNN, bitch, I turn on CNN. I don't want to sit and you watch your ass and you sitting there playing a goddamn 5-minute clip of CNN. What is your opinions on it? You trying to program me? No, I don't give a shit about that. I watched CNN when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, all the way up into high school. So if I don't want to watch that anymore, I don't have to watch that shit no more. I wanted, so that they see they ruining YouTube. They've been ruining YouTube, but I'm just saying. So you guys be careful about that. Watch out for that and call it out too, so they can stop doing it. Put pressure on them. Say, you millennials, you alphas, and you Gen Zs, put pressure on it, especially if you've been watching the YouTube for 5 years. You ain't never do that. You was talking about conspiracy theories at one time. You was really waking motherfuckers up. Why is you playing Fox News and CNN on your shit? I don't come to watch you play that shit. If I want to go watch Fox News, I go watch it. I don't want to watch these rejects. I don't know these people. I came to watch you. And that's what you need to say to them too, millennials, alphas, and Gen Z. I'm telling you, when you see it, you're going to notice a pattern of it. Call it out and say, stop doing that shit. Play whatever you showing, whatever your commentary is, whatever your thoughts are. We want to see your thoughts, your human thoughts. Now, if you got an article, or if you say so-and-so said, you go, and if I want to go look it up myself, I'll go look at it. But show the article, because you still got to talk over the article. Yeah, the article said da-da-da, but I think this. My opinion is this. My perspective is this. Da-da-da-da. Or if you're going to show the clip, they said this. I could see a 30-minute, 1-minute clip. But I'm seeing these YouTubers is showing 5-10 minutes of CNN. It didn't agree with. So yeah, so y'all took that, y'all on the DNC and RNC payroll. Just say that, my nigga. But keep it moving. And stop trying to program the black community. I'm going to get off of here. Again, stop trying to shame the black community for not voting. If they not voting, it means they tired of the system. It means they want a new system. That means they thinking of something different. That means they disillusioned. That means they don't believe in that bullshit you pushing. That means they never benefited from none of your policies. That means you're on some bullshit. That means you ain't being honest and giving them good, fair policies. That means your candidates suck and you ain't got nobody that's talking no real ass motherfucking shit. That means you're a piece of shit who's trying to cover up child trafficking in the Esteem files. That means you're a piece of shit that didn't say anything, that took money from foreign lobbyists and foreign governments, that didn't do shit for us, that's been trying to sell out this country. That means you're a piece of shit that ain't doing nothing for our people, but selling us out, lying to us, trying to placate us, trying to distract us with gossipers and weirdos, untalented people that's stealing and copying from everybody else. And that's what the fuck that means. If they don't want to vote and they don't want to participate, and I honestly go for all of Americans, because we ain't benefiting from none of that shit y'all talking about. And like I said, these people that want to be racist, these people that want to be low frequency, low energy, these people that want to do all this bullshit, let's get away from them. Let's lead them on an island on their own to self-destruct and to eat each other up alive, because that's all they gonna do, because they working with a small deck of cards. They don't have intelligence. And so for those of us that believe in the Most High, that believe in the Spirit, that believe in the power of the Sun, S-U-N, that believe in the power of the Divine Feminine and the Primordials, that believe in nature, that believe and try to figure this out again, doing it on our own until God call our number. Let's go figure it out, and let's move on. Seriously. It's all the fuck we got to do. Stop following these charlatans, these people that's under these contracts. They puppets. And honestly, they're going to lead you back to that system. So like, say you want to follow somebody that's copying me, fine. But you're going to be led back to the slaughter. That's all it is. And it's a fact. So y'all do what y'all going to do. But those of us, whether they kill me or not, I don't give a fuck. Because we about to show and prove who I said what I was. And these elites, they knew who I was. And they wanted to cover it up and do that. And we about to show and prove to you fucking sellout ass, bitch ass niggas who the fuck was really touched down on this bitch. Okay? And I don't care. You can say, oh, we don't like you cussing. We don't like your delivery. We don't like... Okay, but y'all know these people disrespecting me. And y'all know what these people was doing. So why did you expect... What else did you expect? What else did you expect? Oh, because they worked all covertly and silently and secretively and was sitting up there mimicking all in secret that I couldn't see it and that y'all didn't know about it? Oh, because it wasn't all out in the open. Because I come out all out in the open. I don't fuck with you. I don't like you. But because they secretly do it and they try to make it seem like, oh, did she see how crazy she acting? See how... But y'all all know that we develop military science, GIA military science from Saturnian 125D and 45D, 22D, IIMS team. We developed science to protect plausible deniability in that stupid ass secret society that had been trying to gut all of us. So shut the fuck up. And don't get upset that I check them people. Okay? Yeah, we're on one today. It's Sunday. We having Sunday service. And so we give praise to the Most High. We ask God for rectification of our soul daily. We know we are work in progress and a masterpiece. We know that God will make us whole. We know that the Most High Yah is the refuge in our hearts. And we know that we have a spirit inside of our body. We know we have a soul inside of our body. And so that's what we charge with protecting and learning from. We get in tune with our higher self. And we undo in mind control programming, which is what the Nakhti philosophy is about. And that go for everybody, because K-12, all that is programming. CNN, Fox News, all that media stuff, programming. So we letting go of all of those illusions. All illusions must die. Okay. Signing off, Jenny and none. Name change, Jenny Nunn Stanley, pen name, Collie J.N.S. Ain't no possessions over here, nigga. We in control of all faculties of my mind, nigga. Jenny and none. Bye.